Hello, hello, crafty friends. This is Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace, getting ready to do another late night crafting project with you. So welcome, welcome. When you come on board, let me know that you're here. Say hello so that I can say hello back. I want to welcome all the newbies, all the folks that are visiting for the first time. I'm always so excited to have loyal regulars come back as well as new folks. So hello, Dawn. Hello, Miss Dawn. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate that. It's so good to have conversation back and forth, really. So it doesn't feel so funny standing in a room by myself talking to a camera. So I really appreciate the conversations that we have. I'm just going to get this live up and running on my iPad here so I can see the comments as I'm crafting. In a minute, I'll turn that camera down so you guys can see the craft. I'm gonna work with a palette board tonight. I'm so excited. I love doing these projects. Very, very fond of the palette board. So that's what I'm gonna work with tonight. Hi, Miss Janet. I have not seen you in a while. Miss Janet Idziak. Hi, Lindsay. Hello, Debbie. 2 times in one day, she says. Yes, yes. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, ladies. I'm so glad you're all here. Let's see, what's everybody up to? Are you winding down for the day? Some of you, I'm sure, some of you work late night, so is anybody going to work or you're at work? Talk to me, friends. Tell me what you're up to. All right, got the live going. I can see there's 30 of you already. We are going to draw. I've got my little prize basket here. I am going to draw names. I can see that that's backwards now, so let me fix that. I am going to draw names tonight. I think I'm going to do something. I mix it up a little bit and I do it a little bit differently each time, but for every 25 viewers that we get, so the more that you guys do that, the more viewers we get, I put more names in the basket. And tonight I'm going to draw a name at the end of somebody who is here. So you're going to have to be here to claim that. So I'm going to call that the live prize. And then I'll also pull, these people, you might be here. You might have had your name go in the basket in the last month. And your name is in here, you might be live, but some of these people might not be here tonight. So I'll pull 2. One live winner, you have to be here to claim it. The second one could be anybody, and I won't wait to hear from them if they're here or not. I'll just try to connect with them later. So that's the plan. Hi, Fran. She's watching from Washington State. Howdy, 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 Sharita. Hey, Janet, thank you for sprinkling. What Janet means by sprinkling is that word again. If you could do that, that would be awesome. Let me get some names in the prize basket because we already have 40 people here. 46. If we got a few more, I'll add 2 names in. But right now it's going to be pulling from, I pull the names randomly from the comments. So that means say hello. Say something. Say hello. Tell me what your weather is. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me where you're coming in from. If you sprinkle, let me know that you sprinkled. If you're a star giver, you have a greater chance of me seeing that, your name going in the basket. So those who give stars and those who sprinkle are like the top tiered. Because when you share, Facebook tells me that you've shared. So that's how I know. I mean, you can tell me that you sprinkled. That's also really good because that shows up too. Like Valerie Parrott, she said sprinkled, and Facebook confirms it. Right above her name, it says sharer, meaning she did it. So Valerie, your name is going in the prize basket. And actually, for tonight, I'm going to keep these separate because I know that, no, I'll put them in here because some of you who are here, your name is already in the basket. So Valerie, your name just went in the basket. I'm going to have to get a bigger basket, you guys. I'm going to have to get a bigger basket. Oh, my Lord. Lowada Anthony, I can see that you shared. Yours is the next comment that I saw that did. So thank you, Miss Lowada. Your name's going in the basket. Yay! I love when you guys come and visit. Hi, Helen. Thank you for sharing. And Marcy is here. All right, you guys, if we hit 75, let me know because I'll add more names. And literally, you guys, this has been my cute basket. It has to be like a year. I've been using this cute little basket. I had to go and get another basket. This is all I could find. This is all I could find in my house. So all of these names, I don't want to lose any. And they're starting to fall out because there's just so many in there. So now I'll have a greater chance of getting to everybody's name later. So I'm going to put this one aside. I think this is going to end up being my new basket. Let us do some crafty crafting. Lori, is your name in the basket? I don't know. If you've been here before, I always announce the names that go in the basket. through my lives. I go live every Tuesday night, and then intermittently throughout the week. And when we hit certain levels of viewership, I put names in the basket. So I don't remember if over the last month, if your name has gone in that basket. I don't remember, Miss Lori. Hi, Kathy. Two Kathys right in a row. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Heather. All right, you guys, I'm going to put this camera down so you can see what I'm working on. Palette board. This kit, I have just a few of these, but this kit that I'm doing tonight is available on my website. This is the little board. It is a 10 by 10, I believe. Let's measure it. Yes, 10 by 10 square palette board. I'm a huge fan of these, and I have these. This is in the kit too. These little Scrabble tiles. They're so cute, you guys. Listen, I feel like I need to put a flash on or something. There. These little Scrabble tiles, super cute, and they are adhesive. So you get merry and bright, and you get the word believe, okay? Now, you don't have to say merry and bright. You could use all of these words separately. You can make other words with them, but those are the words that it comes with, and then it has the trees and the holly. I'm going to use these on here with something else. First, I got to prep the board. So that's the first thing we need to do. So let's get going. So oftentimes, this is a technique I use all the time because I love it. What I start with, I know that I'm going to use these, and I know I want it to be kind of Christmassy, but I've been using this color a lot in my projects lately, this Waverly in the color Celery. And you guys know, this past week, this was the set of stuff that I've been working on this past week. These trees and these different stamped and stenciled pieces. So these were lives that I've done in the last week. You can go back and look at those if you are interested in seeing how they all came about. This is that color Celery. This green here is that color Celery, and I've been loving it for my Christmas decor. So I'm going to stick with that because it's going to go okay with the Merry and Bright. I don't have to use the little trees and the holly. I can just use the letters because they're neutral. So what I did was I grabbed one of my paper stacks. That I had, and this one has a beautiful, really soft green palette that really matches this celery green that I love so much. So I'm going to use some of the paper from here, and I'm just putting stuff aside so I have more room on my table. Just give me a second. I picked out a couple of pieces of paper, and I actually picked this one and cut it out first. It's a shimmery, iridescent snowflake, and I love it. And what I do is I use paper on you can use paper on all 4 panels, and a lot of people do that, but I tend to paint some of them and paper some of them. So I pulled out this one and this one first, and then when I held my letters over that, I wasn't really thrilled with that look. So the white paper is just too bright. As much as I love it, I decided to put it aside, and I found this gray paper that has these gorgeous snowflakes on them. So this is what I'm going to start with, and then I'm going to paint, and then we're eventually going to end up with these on here with some other embellishments. Let me check, where are we with numbers? Oh, if we get 1 or 2 more, we can add some more names to the prize basket. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sharita. Yes, this is the Comfy Nest with Grace. Lori, you're on the Comfy Nest with Grace page. That's my business page. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use my old handy dandy Mod Podge. It's a little thicker than some of the other decoupage mediums. And this one's almost empty. I've gone through another bottle of this. I do like the smaller bottles rather than the big 32 ounce. I have a 32 ounce bottle here, but I use that when I'm making kits. And I'm giving some decoupage medium in the kits. So this is my personal bottle, and it's almost out already. Good gravy. All right, so I'm going to end up painting 2 panels, and I'm going to decoupage 2 panels. And all decoupage means is glue it down. Decoupage is just a fancy word for glue. This decoupage medium, you use it on the bottom, like underneath the paper that you're gluing down, and you use it on top as a sealer. So it works for both. I'm going to get this nice and wet. You can see the Mod Podge really well on this brown palette board. You can see how much I'm putting on here. You want it to be nice and wet and saturated, but you don't want it to be clumpy and bubbly, okay? So you got to find a happy mix. Wood tends to soak up this decoupage medium. It does, just like it soaks up paint. But I really want to make sure I focus on my ends, Miss Lindsay. Look at me, I'm doing it, girl. Getting my ends nice and wet. I always miss my ends, everybody. So Lindsay is in a paid membership group. She knows, her and Christina, they giggle about it all the time. Her and her mother-in-law that I always miss. I always miss my edges. Now, it's a palette board, so it has these little grooves in between. And my paper may go down in there, so I want to make sure I get down in the grooves and just really smooth out your decoupage medium, whether it's Mod Podge or any other one. I already pre-cut these. If you buy the kit, and I only have, like you guys, like I have 9 kits available. It's not a lot of them. You can go to thecomfynestwithgrace.com to get one. It will have this in it. It will have paper. It may not be the same exact paper, but it will be 2 coordinating pieces of paper. It will have the Merry & Bright letters. And if you buy this kit, the paper will be pre-cut for you. So I'll take care of that for you, but you just want to get it on there. Now, I usually use my fingers to spread this out, but you can use a brayer if you have it. It does really help you get a good flat application, and it helps to get the bubbles out, but it's not going to get inside those little grooves. So take your fingers and make sure you press that paper down into the grooves. Okay, you could always cut that paper down even further. I cut it pretty much so that it would fit in one of the grooves, and I really like that look. I'm going to hold it up and show it to you. So see how you still get that dark impression because you have that groove, but the paper, it sits nicely in there. And then when this is dry, I'm gonna end up painting a little bit over these probably too. But when it's dry, you definitely want to go over it again with this as a top coat to seal it, okay? Because it is paper and you don't want it to rip. Jamie, hello, Miss Jamie Norvell from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, hello. Good to have you here. Am I over 80, Kathy? That means I need to find more people to put names in. So every time we hit 25, an increment of 25, I add names. So Kathy, thank you for telling me that. I draw names randomly from the comments. So you have to say hello. If you've shared, it's going to tell me that. So those folks, you're going to show up more on my screen. It shows up more when you've shared. I can see that. And when you've sent stars, I can see that. And so right now I'm looking at Miss Jennifer Gilder. She sent me some stars. So whoop, whoop, I got me some stars. Miss Jennifer, thank you. Jennifer's name is going in the basket. All right, you guys, keep sharing. I'm hoping to get 40 shares, you guys. I don't think it's too much. Like you guys, usually we get to about 30, 33. So I am challenging you to get me to 40. Now listen, I know there are people, we should talk about this, and I won't spend time on this, but I will say, I know there are people who say that they share and they don't. You know how I know? Because I have usually hundreds or thousands of comments. And I can go back and count and see who shared. And then Facebook gives me a number. This is how many people shared. So it may say 15 people shared, but I have 45 people saying that they shared. Okay, so try not to do that. It's just not right, man. Like, you don't have to share if you don't want to. You really don't have to share. It's okay if you don't want to. Just be honest about it and comment if you did, so I can give you a shout out, because I love to give you a shout out, but you don't have to like feel pressured into doing that at all. I don't ever want people to feel pressured. Hey, Miss Sharita, woohoo, she gave me some stars. You guys, let's try to hit 100 viewers so I can get some more names in here. Christy says she's a first timer. Hi, Christy, welcome. Carol's here. Scrapbook, New York. Carol, really, is that the name of your town? I've never heard of that. I lived in Pennsylvania for 7 years, and I grew up in Massachusetts, driving through New York all the time to get to college and back home. Drove through all of New York. We have family in New York. I've never heard of Scrapbook, New York. I'm going to have to look that up later. Miss Carol, welcome. Hello, hello. Thank you, Miss Christy, for sprinkling. Pauline's watching from Pennsylvania. Does it show when it's shared in Messenger? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't tell me where you shared it. It just tells me that you shared it. Robin's Egg Blue. Helen's saying you used to use a paint called Robin's Egg Blue, and I love the color, but I don't remember the brand. The only color that I have, it's not called Robin's Egg Blue though, but it's Annie Sloan chalk paint. If you look at Annie Sloan chalk paint and look at her color scheme, like the color options that she has, I think that's the brand you're thinking of. What if your pages are set to private? Does that still show if we do? No, if you have your Facebook, your privacy settings so that you can't put it on your page, then it won't show, I guess. But I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that happening. Hi, Vivian. Hello, hello. So just try it. That's a really good question, Tina. Hit the share button and see. It's going to give you an option to share it in a message, to share it in a group, to share it on your own Facebook wall. So why don't you test it out tonight and let me know what you find out, because I'm very curious to see what you find out. Pauline says, I share all the time in Messenger and they get it. So you would get a mark. If you use the share button, it's going to say that above your name. It's going to tell me that you shared. And then Facebook gives me the number of people that shared. You can see it yourself too. After the live is over, it always gives us like a number of how many people shared. It's so fun to see and so fun to watch. So you can check that out later. I'm not sure that it shows us now during the live. First time from Kentucky. Hello, Miss Shannon. Michelle, she says, I too only share by Messenger, and I just did. Michelle, on my end, Michelle Doctor, she said, I too only share by Messenger, and I just did. It's not showing on my screen. Above your name, the little, this is so interesting, the little word sharer above your name is not appearing. That's interesting. So maybe it doesn't give you credit if you share in Messenger. So Michelle Doctor, that is very interesting that you bring that up. Hey, Keith. Hello, hello. Keith says he shared. Hello, hello. Keith, it doesn't say shared above your name either. I'm not saying that you didn't. I don't know where you shared. It doesn't tell us where you shared. It just tells us if you did. So it must only tell us if you shared on your public page or on like in a group, we all belong, many of us belong to craft groups. And so I'm guessing that's what that is. Marcia says she shared on Messenger too. That's so interesting, you guys. I'm going to have to research this tomorrow. I'm going to write a note to myself because I'm telling you, I'm being totally honest in what I can see. Like Lindsay says, interesting. I'm a total open book. I'm telling you what I can see. Hi, Judy in Ohio. Janet says, I sprinkled, but it doesn't say so above my name. No, it doesn't. It doesn't show me that, Janet. Kathy, you know what it says above your name? Kathy Bratton. She says, sprinkled again. It says top fan, #1. That means you're incredibly active and super, present on the page and in my group. So thank you, Miss Kathy, for being that. I so appreciate it. Because I shared on my page, but just to friends, not to public. It's not showing I'm a sharer. Julie, I've never made that, known that distinction. So I'm going to have to look it up tomorrow. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, do you have your own business page or do you mean your personal page? Hi, Karen Meadows. Hello, hello, welcome. Lindsay, send it to me. I'd love to see that because we are going to unravel this together. Look up, I'm writing myself a note. Look up Facebook Live, share, this is my note to myself, where, question mark, does it show if you do it in a messenger? Because you can just send it to a friend. Does it show if you put it on your own Facebook page? I imagine I wonder if your settings have anything to do that, your own personal page, or does it show if you put it in a group? Why is it only showing that some of you are sharing? I don't know. I guess I need a lesson since I had several ways. No worries. I will always watch your lives. Oh, Amy, you're the best. Amy Kruger, that was sweet. Well, it's curious just why. So Julie says, I just shared again publicly, and it says shared above your name, Miss Julie. Pam Obedin. replying to Janet. She says, hi. Your name says shared. This is so interesting. Can you guys see it in the comments? Can you see the word shared above your names, above each other's names? I'm never going to get through this project if we keep doing like this discovery of Facebook. Okay, more Mod Podge, more paper. So the first thing I do is pick out my paper colors and my paint colors. I picked out this like gray with the snowflakes over it. And I picked out this green that just has polka dots. And the polka dots actually really makes me think of snow. I think they're just polka dots. But because it's winter and this whole book is about winter and Christmas, this is why I don't love Mod Podge. That big booger right there. Mod Podge booger. Ish! See that? Ish, ish. Go away. Like, look at that. Who wants that in their project? This is why Mod Podge is really inexpensive, you guys, and it is my go-to. But I find that it gets really clumpy. So I have been experimenting with other decoupage mediums. I have dozens of different ones now, and I have been trying them all out because I know Mod Podge is such a staple and you can find it and all that jazz, but look at the boogers we get. Ish. This is just dry glue that came out of my jar. Now listen, you can avoid that a little by buying the smallest bottle possible. And you can buy them, the little bottles like this size, at the Dollar Tree for $1. So that would be a good way to go, because then it won't ever get clumpy and icky on you. Just FYI, this is just my opinion. This is just me. And I always say, you do you. Like, you use what you love to use. But that's one reason I'm not a huge fan of Mod Podge right now. It's getting a little bit on my nerves. Okay, I'm going to line it up on the bottom. You can always sand it off if you get off, you know, kilter a little bit here and you end up wonky. You can always sand it off the edges or off the bottom, but I'm going to try to line it up nicely, and then whatever's left I'm going to push into that palette groove. I've just starting using my brayer when I got my jelly plate, and I've been loving it for my Mod Podge, my decoupage, you guys. All right, just using my thumb, I'm pushing that down into that groove. I have a little excess glue, but it's okay. That's how it looks. You can see I got a little excess glue. That will dry clear, so that's no worry. And I'm going to end up painting over all of this. Now, this scrapbook paper, it's not cardstock, but it's thicker than traditional like printer paper. So the glue holds it down just fine, but it's not so thin that this top part's not wet. It's not damp or wet. So I'm going to start painting. And what I do is I'm going to paint, I picked out my colors, these two, because they match my papers really well. And I love to play with my backgrounds, especially on palette boards, and using each little section for something different. Linda Craft, whoop, whoop. Linda gave me some stars. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, thank you. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. What chalk paint did you say you use? Oh, Carol, she's asking me about a specific color, and I believe, Annie Sloan chalk paint, I think, is the color that she's asking me about. I'm looking over there to think, what is the name of that color? I have Louis Blue. I'm trying to think of the names of the colors. Hold on, let me grab this one. This one, it's not Robin's Egg Blue, it's called Duck Egg Blue. You probably can't even read that anymore, Duck Egg Blue. This is Annie Sloan's Duck Egg Blue. It's one of my favorites to use. It does not come like this. It comes in a jar like this. Except I'm telling you all the things I'm not a fan of. It comes in well, it used to. I haven't bought the paint in a long time. I have a big storage of it still. Like a traditional paint can. And you know how the rims always get icky? So when I put them in one of these jars. I find them easier to work with the glass than with these metal ones. So anyway, Annie Sloan chalk paint. I just have to find a dealer. I'm not a dealer. I don't represent the company. I'm just a big fan of her paint. It's just, I don't use Annie Sloan chalk paint on my craft projects. See, I use Waverly or Apple Barrel or Folk Art or Deco Art. I save Annie Sloan for when I'm painting furniture. It's much, much more expensive. And I used to paint furniture, and that's why I have a whole lot of it on hand. I still have a lot of it on hand, but normally when I do crafts, I just do this. But if you really loved that color, she was asking about this. It's called Duck Egg Blue, and it's from Annie Sloan chalk paint. Okay, let's get some paint on here. I'm going to do one panel green and one gray, and this is called Mineral. And I think I'm going to put the green up here so it's not right next to this green. Okay, so I'm going to go green, gray, gray, green, I think is how I'm going to do this. What do you think? Like that? Or like that? No, maybe I will put the two greens next to each other. What do you think? Greens next to each other or not? Oh, Jennifer says Dixie Belle has a duck egg blue too. I don't have that one, so I can't compare the two for you. Hi, Miss Vivian in Arkansas. Hello, hello. Fran is sharing to your friends, but not publicly. The live crafter may not be able to see that you did it. I think that's what we're finding out, Julie. And Julie, it says Shara above your name. Okay, Nora's saying don't put the greens next to each other. Sonia says not. Carol says don't put the greens next to each other. So we want it like this. We want the grays next to each other. All right, so we'll put green on top. I love asking you guys your opinion and you helping me. I'm not committed either way. Doesn't bother me if it's one way or the other. I love this celery green, you guys. And listen, I usually go over the edge here. I want you to be able to see this. I usually let the paint bleed on over to my paper because I don't like really perfect backgrounds. I just don't. That's just me. If you're in my paid membership group, the Craft Therapy Club, you'll find that out about me. I don't love perfect paint jobs for my backgrounds. I don't like perfect paper collage jobs. I like them to look a little mucked up, a little bit wonky. So I'm going to get a nice coat of this celery green on here. But I do let it kind of hit the paper. So I want to get in this groove and I go right over my paper. So it's going to touch the paper. It's going to get on the paper. And you're going to see that'll make sense in a few minutes here. We're going to get all our paint on first and see. I'm super visual, so I got to get the paint on there to decide what I want to do next. Kind of have an idea of the colors that I'm going to use, and then as I go, I make my mind up. So far, I'm going for really soft colors here. Let's put that paintbrush aside and open this one. This one is almost empty, and you guys, I bought this little paint mixer recently for my Chalk Couture stuff. I have another business page, Chalk Couture with the Comfy Nest, and I bought this for my pastes. But you guys, it makes it is so brilliant to mix your paints. Like I have almost no paint left in here and it's really thick on the bottom. So earlier when I was deciding to use this color, I added a spritz of water, like with my water bottle, a little spritz of water, because I wanted to get it going again. And you stick this down in there and you turn it on and it mixes your paint for you, like super fast, gets all the little clumpies out of there. It's brilliant, you guys. I got this off Amazon for like, I don't know, like, I think at the time that I bought it, it was $20, but I think it's on sale for like $8 or $11 now. And then I just stick this in my water and turn it on and it cleans the end of it and it's ready to go for next time. I'm loving my little paint mixer. It just smooths out my paint and gets it all reconstituted. You know what I find that when these bottles get down to the bottom, like there's only a little bit left and they're thick, I add the water to it, but as much as I shake it, I just can't shake it well enough to get it reconstituted. So that little stinker, it's battery operated. It has come in handy so much. I use it for my chalk paste, for Chalk Couture, and I use it for my paint now. So go to my Amazon store and you will find that in my section called Craft Supplies you'll love, and you will love it. If you have a lot of paints and if your paints happen, you know, some of the colors, they get older and they get drier on you and it's hard to mix them because the bottle's almost empty. Oh, it's brilliant. And it's the tiniest little head, you guys. It's the tiniest little mixer on there. So it fits in those smaller jars. It's from Amazon, but you can go to my Amazon store and grab it. It's in the section called Craft Supplies You'll Love. If you need my Amazon link, I can give that to you guys. So go ahead. I'm going to go right in the groove with the paint. It's going to touch my paper and it's all good. We're going to muck up the paper a little bit. Hi, Cannon. Are you going to bed? Good night. Dad's asleep already. See you, Heather?
Open mouth.
Yeah, he's snoring, huh? Good night, bud. I'll come check on you when I'm done, okay? That's my Gannon saying good night. Good night, Annie. All right, so we get a nice coat of paint on there. I go in my groove still. Again, even though it's going to go over my paper a little bit, I still go in that groove because I'm going to come over this with all of it with some paint here in a few minutes. All right, this color seems to be, we'll see how it dries. It went on really well because I mixed it. I should have mixed the other one with my little mixer too. But you can see I do need just a little bit more on here. I'm going to take the hairdryer to it so I can add another coat there. Let me see. I can answer some questions now. And let me see if I can grab you my Amazon link, you guys, real quick, because I know now you guys are asking me, where did I get that paint? Here, let me see if I can find my Amazon store link for you. Amazon at the Comfy Nest. Here we go. I found it. I'm getting better with this technology all the time, you guys. Here, I'm going to drop it in the comments for you guys. So those of you asking where I got that little mixer, I just dropped the Amazon link for you. Go to my shop and then go to the folder, craft supplies you'll love. You'll find it in there. A little paint mixer. Yeah, I definitely need more paint up here. Definitely need more paint. All right, let's put another little coat on the green part, and then I'm going to show you how I pull this all together. Let me grab some more green here. Just get a quick coat. The second coat is always easier to do because you've got your base coat done. I just want to fill in where it was a little bit shabby looking. Maybe you like shabby. Some of the projects I leave it just that way. I'm fine with that. Got a little extra on the edge there that I didn't need. But I want to start with a good coat here. All right, now what I usually do at this point, this is what we got so far. I love it. I love this look. I think it's really fun and interesting to look at. It's a great backdrop for any of your projects. Now remember, what I started with, what I wanted to use was this board with these little, they're stickers. They're adhesive on the back, you guys. And this kit, like I said, is on my website now if you want to get it. They're like little Scrabble tiles without the numbers. They're so cute. So that's what's going to go on top. So now I have to decide. I usually add paint, one of the colors of paint. I'll dry brush it over the papers, and I usually pick one of the colors to go with. Sometimes I do both, but most of the time I just pick one. Marty says, ooh, I know, isn't it cute? I love the oohs and the ahs. Sherry, go to their manufacturer because they have different size ones. And I don't know, I honestly don't know. I think there's one that's just bigger that I was actually considering getting for my bigger things of paint because it works that well. So go to the manufacturer. You can go right to the manufacturer's page on Facebook and see if they have any other ones. Yeah, people have been buying it like crazy on my team for Chalk Couture. Hi, happy Tuesday, Belinda from Georgia, she says. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Hey, Heidi. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Judy. You guys are so sweet. Okay, let's see. So now we have to decide to put something over. I like to dry brush, and I think let's try to dry brush with the green and see what we get. The light green. The celery green. I'm going to dry brush a little bit of that onto this darker green, and my dark green has little polka dots on it, so it kind of reminds me of snow. I'm just going to dry brush, so I didn't add any more paint onto my brush. It's going to muck it up a little. So I want to pull all of these 4 panels together so that they look, so that they look cohesive. And listen, if you end up putting too much, it's okay. Like I always say, don't stress. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna grab my little craft mat, and I'm gonna grab a little more paint, but I need to offload it somewhere. So I'm gonna offload it onto my craft mat. I need to work some wet paint into my brush so I can dry brush. I didn't have enough on here. And I start out really slow and pressing very softly. I don't want to press too hard because you'll get more paint than you intend to. So add it to your brush. Add it to your brush, work it in there, kind of like we're stenciling. For those of you that are Essential Stencil fans, it's kind of that same process. And then I want to dry brush it on top of here so it doesn't look so darn perfect. because I like things a little wonky and messed up and rustic looking. So see what I did? I'm just dry brushing some of that green on top. It's gonna pull everything together. And I love focusing on the transition between the paper and the paint because it's gonna pull this green onto my gray now. So I'm gonna come over my green paper with the celery. I'm trying to hold this so that you guys can see it well. I'm gonna come over my gray paint. My gray paint is dry now. So I'm gonna bring that green paint and I'm gonna go over my gray, but I need more paint. We're dry brushing, so you're gonna have to reload a little bit. Because you don't have a ton of paint on here, and that's the goal. You don't wanna slobber a lot of paint. You just wanna add a tinge of it on top, here and there. So you see I'm just brushing it on in a really dry coat. And it tends to bring the textures out. I know when I hold it really close, you're probably like, what the heck did you do that for? It doesn't look that great when you hold it really close, but when you pull it from afar, the dry brushing is gonna pull all these colors together. So I usually pick one color to dry brush over everything, but this color is already green, so I'm gonna go in with my other brush that has the gray on it on that panel. And sometimes I do both all over everything, and sometimes I just do one. You just have to, I make my mind up as I go. But I certainly don't want my papers to look perfect. I don't want them to be perfect. I want this to look like, almost like a pallet board, like shiplap wall that maybe had wallpaper on it someday, and some of the paper has fallen off and some of it's still there, and maybe somebody painted over the paper at one point, so it just looks old and grungy and rustic, I think. I don't know, you can call me crazy if you want. This brush, I'm gonna do the same with this gray, especially on that celery green panel, but I have way too much paint on this brush, so I'm gonna try to offload most of it, because I don't want all that paint. I just want a little bit. Now, I can't dry brush celery green on celery green. It's not gonna show up. So I'm gonna come in with the gray, this gray paint. This is why I picked two different paints, so that I can start making these panels they're like all part of the same family. That's what it's gonna start to look like. So you just have to be patient, because you're gonna use the paint up and you're gonna have to go back and grab some more. And then you're gonna use it up and you're gonna have to go back and grab some more. It's just part of the process. And test it. I tend to go light with my hand at first, and then I go a little stronger, because I can always add more paint. I can't take it off once I put too much on, then I'm gonna have to repaint over it to fix it. And I'm trying to avoid that because I'd be the lazy crafter. Okay, these paint colors are very, very subtle. They're very soft. So it's not super dramatic, but I am going to take a little of this gray, and I'm even going to put it, it's not going to show on here. It's probably, I did it over here, but it doesn't show that great, but it'll show better on this green panel. So here and there, I'm just going to add a few little brushes of this gray on here, hoping to pull them all together. So see what we got going there? I kind of look at it from afar. I pull my face away from my project and look at it as a whole. And I'm looking at it to say, okay, where do I need to do something more? And I'm feeling like down here, I want to do something more, like in these corners, these edges. Because I want it to look grungy. That's just me. Let's see, should I add a little more to the... I'm going to add a little more too, as well, in addition, that's what I'm trying to say, as in addition, in between these two slots, I'm going to add a little bit of gray, okay? So I want this slot that's transition to be a little messier. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of gray. And you see I turned my paintbrush skinny. Before I was doing it wide. Now when I go into these edges, I'm going to go skinny. Okay, because I just really want to hit that transition. Christina, whoop, whoop, thank you for sending me some stars. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys, we're almost at 100. I can add more names. If you guys see 100, let me know. Maggie, you can get this board on my website, thecomfynestwithgrace.com. I have this board available in 2 different kits. This kit, I have only 9 of them, so if you want it, just go get it tonight. I only have 9 of this kit available. And then there's another kit that has this board in it. So there you have it. You can get them on my website. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now we get to play. I'm going to take the hairdryer to this. I'm going to put my paintbrushes aside for just a minute because I think I'm done with my paint. And I hope that I was able to explain to you my rationale. I picked 2 different papers and 2 paint colors that coordinated with the papers. And then I use the 2 papers on 2 of the palette boards and I paint the other 2 with the 2 paint colors. And then I use the 2 paint colors all over all of it to grunge it up. It looks like old wallpaper to me. That's what that reminds me of, you guys. Old wallpaper. Take the hairdryer to a minute because I want it dry. I think I'm actually going to put my Mod Podge Top Coat on this before we do the rest of it. Well, let's think about this. We have a couple of options. We glued on or decoupaged on 2 different pieces of scrapbook paper, decorative scrapbook paper, and then we painted over them with a little bit of dry brushing. Now, I'm going to glue on, and I have my hot glue gun going, even though these are adhesive. And actually, I was trying to test it out earlier, like placement wise, and I pulled one off and I put it on there and it like really stuck. Like, you guys, this comes in the kit. These come in the kit that's available. There's 9 of them on my website. They really, really stuck. This one really stuck on the board and I like really had a struggle to get it off. But I'm still going to add, I think, a little bit of hot glue just to make sure that they don't go anywhere. So you have 2 options. I'm going to use Merry & Bright on here, I think. And then we have to decide. I'm hoping you'll decide with me. I'm going to either use a little bit of this garland, or I have this sweet little grapevine wreath, and I'm thinking of putting a little wreath up here and with some ribbon, I think, up here in the center. So if you don't put your sealer on your paper now, you could spray a top coat over all of this. But honestly, I really like the sheen. Now, this is matte Mod Podge, and it's not completely matte. It's not, like, this is matte now, the paper. This is going to add a little bit of sheen. It's not glossy, but it's not completely matte. But I love the look of it. It's I couldn't show it to you on screen, I don't think. Well, I'm trying to think of, do I have something here that has that on there? Let me look around. Let me see if I can show you. I did put it on this. Let me grab this little tree. This has paper on it, and it has matte Mod Podge over it. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see the sheen. Can you see that? There's a little bit of a sheen. You can see the light reflecting off of it. It's not glossy, but it's definitely not matte like this paper is matte right now. But I really love the look of it as a sealer. So, and you can see everything matches. I'm so excited. I have such a nice little collection of matching coordinated decor right now because I've been using the same papers and paints. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put my sealer on here before I put on my wreath and before I put on my letters, because I want that sheen and I want to make sure that my paper stays in place. It's paper. I want to get that sealer down in the grooves to make sure that paper doesn't pop up off my project, and I want to get it all over this project. You got to make sure that your paint is dry before you do this, which I did. And then I just want to make sure to really coat this. Now this will dry clear. I know it looks like a ton of Mod Podge. Don't worry about it. It's going to dry clear. Just make sure that you have a nice, I get it on there, and then one panel at a time, get a really nice smooth, make sure you smooth it out with your paintbrush. So get it on here. See how I'm slopping it on there? A whole heck of a lot of it. Make sure I get it in my groove. I got a booger, you guys. Those stinking boogers. This is the only reason I don't like Mod Podge. it comes with boogers. I don't know what else to call them. That's what I call them. Do you have a different name for them? Now smooth. You just want to go over it and smooth so you don't have any brush strokes showing. It will dry clear anyway, so you don't have to worry. Make sure you touch your edges so that if you have any overage, you don't have like a big drip of paint or sealer on the edges. So get a whole heck of a lot of it on there. I'm using like a 1-inch brush, and you can see I almost have to go in twice into my Mod Podge to pick up like 2 different paintbrushes full of it. And then I'm really smoothing it out here. Got to make sure I get in this groove so that the paper stays down. You don't want your paper flipping up on you. All right, I'm gonna check comments here in a second. Let me get this last one done. I'm gonna take the hairdryer to it, and while I'm doing that, I can check comments and see what you're all saying over there. I can't see them right now because I'm so focused on getting this sealer on here. I love the way matte Mod Podge looks as a sealer. I still need a little more. I love the way it looks. I just don't like in these big bottles how it gets clumpy. All right. I'm gonna get this edge. I always miss my edges, girls. So I'm really focused on them because I always miss them. All right, get it on there, and then one big stroke. I'm gonna have to do it like 3 times to cover this whole thing. One big long stroke and go right off the edge so you don't get brush strokes. Okay, and then make sure you hit the edge so you get that extra paste Mod Podge off of there. Okay, I'm gonna dry this and I'm gonna check comments. I don't normally seal. When I'm doing demonstrations like this, you guys, I don't normally seal things. Like when I did these trees the other night, this little tree set that I did, I painted them, I stamped them, I put the fabric on with the little animals. I hot glued all this other fabric on here. And then when the demonstration was done and the camera was off, I'm like, oh man, now I have to seal this. So I was putting my Mod Podge sealer, picking up the fabric and going underneath it. It is much easier if you just get it done like right after you do your paint and before you add all your embellishments. I see my paper right here is trying to come up. It popped up on me. So I want to make sure it stays down. That's why we seal it underneath. We glue it underneath and then we seal it on top. So I just pushed it back down into that glue, and now I want to smooth out that glue because my finger mucked up my glue a little bit, my sealer. I'll smooth that out. All right, let's take the hairdryer to it and then I'll check questions and comments. See who's here. Oh, we hit 100. I can add another name to the basket. Woohoo! You guys keep sharing. Those of you who haven't done it yet, if you're willing, go ahead and share. The more viewers, more names go in the basket. I did have focusing on my edges. Christina, you are so right. Thank you, Barbara, for sprinkling. Sandy says she gets the boogers too. Yeah, they're icky. We don't like those boogers in our projects. They're just glumpy messes. I've been experimenting and using some other decoupage mediums. I was sharing that with the paid membership group today. We are doing, you guys, in the paid membership, I'm so excited. Can I just show you? Because I'm so excited about it. We are doing this winter vixen buggy in the paid membership group. And it's the background is completely decoupaged and then painted. And then we decoupaged on or paper collaged on our trees. And then we're gonna paint the buggy. But look at how cute this is. My favorite part about this whole thing, the paper collage, you guys, is I have like a Santa peeking out right there. I have a Santa, this is for my background that's paper collage. I have a Santa peeking out right there. You can kind of see him. Oh, the reflection's terrible, but I have a Christmas caroler here and here. And I have Santa with a little girl, like right there. He's holding her hand and he's carrying a bunch of presents. And they're all peeking out with a bunch of music paper underneath. I am excited about this project. My craft therapy girls who are here, give me a shout out. Who's excited about the Vixen buggy? That's what we're doing in the paid membership group this month. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. I get to do it twice because I got to test it and then we do it together. All right, let me grab, this is drying. I took the hairdryer to it. Gonna check comments and grab a comment a name to put in the prize basket. So I'm going to pull one winner tonight who has to be live, and then I'll pull another one who I'll just try to contact later to get their address to send them some happy mail. All right, let's see. Yay! Connie says, yay, yay, yay. Candy says, can't wait. Holly's here. Janet, oh, they're all my girls. There you guys are. There's all those Craft Therapy Club members. Okay, Sue George, I can see you. I'm pulling your name to put in the prize basket. So there you go, Miss Sue George. Now listen, when I pull the names later, I'll pull one who I'm going to ask you to claim it here tonight. So you have to be here tonight to claim it. And if you're not here, it's okay. I'll just keep pulling names until I find someone who claims it. The other one, I will try to contact them. I'll try to tag them in the Crafty Chicks Club if I don't recognize the name. I'll try to tag them in the Crafty Chicks Club and find them so I can get their address. Because if they're not here, then they don't know they won. And that has happened where people just can't claim their prize because they're not here, which is so sad. If you win a prize, I want you to get it. I send a mini mystery grab bag of craft supplies. I sell the grab bags off my website, the large ones, but my Happy Mail winners get a mystery one. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. This is just a little damp up here. But I'm gonna think through this. This panel right here is still just a little bit tacky. You guys can help me decide. I'm thinking this, but I'm gonna wrap it with red ribbon. So grapevine wreath. Here are our options. A wreath of greenery, like winter greenery. I can create that. Or should I use the gold? I don't even know what you call that. The gold berries, gold beads. What do you call them? I don't know. What do you think would look better on the top of my project? Greenery, gold, or grapevine? So you guys vote. Do you like the greenery, the gold, or the grapevine? And I'll wrap red ribbon. I'm kind of leaning toward the grapevine, you guys. I'm just being honest with you here. I love the way these look. I just haven't found a use for them yet, but I do love them. They kind of, it's a string actually of these berries. I got them from the Dollar Tree, but I do think they are very lovely, like just loosely wound up as a wreath. I do think that they're really lovely. I could even tie that with a bow. Actually, now that I see that on there, maybe I do like that one. Or do you think, so this is another thing. This is garland that I got from Hobby Lobby in the wedding section, in the wedding aisle. And it's a big, long garland, but you can wrap it as much or as little as you want to make a wreath. So I wouldn't use this much. I would make a smaller wreath, but greenery. Grapevine, greenery, gold. Which do you think? I'm going to look at the comments and see what you guys think. Sherry says, add water to your Mod Podge when it gets like that. I do that too. I do water it down, but the boogers are still there. They are still there. All right, let's see what everybody's voting. Yes, Patricia, or Pam. She said, we were at 100 watches. I just added another name. Yay, to the prize basket. So you guys keep doing that. Hi, D. Noel. Thank you for saying hello. Sharita says, whoop, whoop, I'm getting my stuff all together for the Vixen Buggy workshop. Yay! The Winter Vixen Buggy. Oh, don't be nervous, Gail. It's going to be super fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn some new things, and I'm going to walk you through all of it step by step. Heidi says, that buggy is my favorite. It's so fun. It's so fun. Judy says, me, I'm excited. All right, let's see. What is everybody? Hi, Tina. I'm good. How are you, my dear? Lindsay's excited. Sharita says, I got my Happy Mail today. Woo, woo. We love it. I love sending out Happy Mail, you guys. I do send out a lot of it, actually. Okay, wait, let's see. I have the berry garland, and I do love it. Sandy says, use the grapevine. Oh, Marcia says, wrap the berries around the grapevine. Oh, Madeline says, the gold looks like a crown of thorns. Interesting. Yes, I could see how you would say that. greenery will pop more. It definitely, Jacinta, you are right. It would definitely be a bolder look. Tracy says use green. Pam says grapevine. Donna says gold. Candy says grapevine. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think we're all split. Donna, let's see. Fran says greenery. Kathy had the same suggestion. Wrap the gold around the grapevine. Donna says gold. Greenery and red letters would look good. I have these are the letters I'm using, my dear. Miss Bobby. I don't know if you saw. This is the kit that's available on my website. These are the letters I'm using on here. I'm going to glue those on in a few minutes. Dee says wrap the gold around the grapevine. Patricia says grapevine. Let's see what it looks like. A lot of you are suggesting that. Let's get the tag off the little grapevine wreath. Let's cut that off there. And I get a little wood. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see what it would look like. I like the suggestion. I always ask you girls, guys and girls, what your suggestion is. Now, the thing about this is that the berries are very, very far apart. So if I were to just wrap this in one, as a single layer, it doesn't have a whole lot of berries on it, actually. It doesn't really show. I'm tempted to fold it in half so that, you know, if this is the halfway point, so that that berry goes in between these two. I want to fold it so that I'm essentially doubling the number of berries that are seen in my project, because as a single strip, they're kind of far apart. They're like 2 inches apart. But if you fold it so that you double the number of berries, that may look good. But I'll tell you what, just looking at this, you cannot really see the berries on the grapevine wreath. It's extremely subtle. They almost disappear and you can't really see them. Now, I think if they were red or white, that would be a fantastic idea. I think it's a fantastic idea. I just think you can't really see the gold that well. Cannot see it that well. Yes, I need more color. Debbie says you need more color. Greenery and red ribbon. So here's the ribbon I was thinking of using. Let me grab a length of it. I'll show you how I organize my ribbons. If you haven't seen this yet, you're in for a treat. So this is how I hang my ribbons, you guys. It's a big, huge, long strip of jute. And then I hang all of my ribbons on here, and I do them by color. And actually, I had already went over there and kind of thought this would be really cute around the grapevine wreath, but I could use it with any of these. But I was thinking this would be super cute here. Isn't it fun? Isn't it so fun to have all like different supplies on hand and just to be able to play? See, I think I like the red, but here's the thing. I was leaning toward, let me just get this unraveled for a minute, leaning toward this, but I feel like it's too small on here. So as much as I like this, I think it's too small. So if we went with one of these two, we can make it however big we want to, because it's a garland. So we get to decide. Now I have little bits of grapevine wreath everywhere. We get to decide how big it is, okay? So if I wanted this one to be about 4 inches instead of 3, and I could wrap it like several strands of it so it gets nice and thick and hardy, I feel like that's gonna be the answer right there. Let me get my wire cutters. Where are you, wire cutters? There you are. Let's grab a length of this. I love this. I love it, because now I can still make a few more of these. And you can customize them to whatever, absolutely whatever size you need for your project. And I think like a 4 or 5 inch wreath is about what we need. So now I'm wrapping them around, and then what I do is I just take this little end, and at about where there's about 1 inch left, right here, I wrap that around my wreath so it holds it together, and then do the same thing on the other side. Here's the end. So I'm going to go to where there's about 1 inch left, and I'm going to, like almost like a bread tie, I'm going to wrap it around the rest of the wreath so it holds it all together. I think that's the way to go, you guys. Now, I'm not using all of these letters. It's not going to be quite that big, but I love that, and I think some of you said try to wrap the gold around the wreath. Let's see what that would look like. This would show up really well. You know why? Because of the contrasting color. See? You actually can see that really well. So we could use a length of this. Let's cut a length of this off. I don't know how much I need, but I do need it to be a lot smaller so that I can wrap it around this. I love making my own embellishments. Don't you guys? Do you love this whole process? I just think it's so fun. So now I'm going to wrap this around. It's going to be very subtle, but you could do as many layers, you know, as you want. It can be as heavy or as light-handed as you want. That's the fun part about making your own. I'm like losing track of where. Now I've gone around once. Oh, we lost some berries there. Gone around once, and I have some left over, so I'm just going to keep going around it so that there's just a few more berries in some sections than in others. Okay, so now we have this, and now we're going to use the red ribbon too. I'm going to bring this berry around so we get to see that one. And they're all both wired, so it's really easy when they're wired to do that. Now we'll, I think, incorporate some of this in here. And I think I'm just going to make a simple bow. And I always say, you guys, you do you. Like, maybe you think, see, the wreath is small, so we don't want to go with a really wide ribbon. That's not going to look appropriate. Maybe you could go get away with doing like a 2-inch ribbon. Like, I do really like this one, you guys. I do really like that one because I love the colors with this, but it's, I think I'm going to go with the red just because it's so classic and it's skinny, so it's going to be easy to work in here. So let me grab a length of this. I'm going to put this aside because it's a little bit cumbersome right in front of me here, the bunch of ribbons. And if I need more of it, I'll come back and get some more of it. Let me just put that aside. I'm still going to draw a winner, so don't you worry about that. Let's start to put it together. I'm not going to do the bow until I see how all of this is going to work. So I like the green on the green. I think it's very, because my green, celery green with the gray is very muted, so it really lets the greenery pop off of here. I think so too, Bobby. Thank you. Barbara says, I love the idea of all three. I'm gonna decide what to do with the ribbon. Maybe we'll wrap it around the wreath. Maybe we'll wrap it around the wreath and do a bow. We'll see. Got the berries in red at Dollar Tree. Yeah, I got the berries at Dollar Tree. And I got this in the wedding aisle at Hobby Lobby. This garland. I got it in the wedding aisle. It was not in the Christmas aisle. It wasn't in the, like, where all the florals are. It wasn't there. It was in the wedding section, believe it or not. Okay, I want to use Merry and Bright, I believe. And these are too big for me to fit them all on one of these palette panels. So I think I'm going to have to put one above and then the and the bright below. The other thing I thought, you guys, you tell me, like this is what I'm thinking. And just the Merry and Bright. I'm not going to use the Believe. That's not going to get used. So just pretend the Believe isn't there. Okay. I'm going to use the Merry and Bright. I'm not going to use the little hollies. But what I was thinking, I wonder if it would look better to justify this, like put it all on one side. No, I think it better be centered. I think it better be centered. Now that I'm holding it up and looking at it. These are sticky. I would prefer that they weren't, actually, because once you put them down, man, they really stick. This is going to go about here. Let's get the bright on first, probably. The way I do this, girls, so it's a 10-inch board. So I want to know where my halfway, if you're really nervous about being straight, I don't normally get worked up about this stuff. Like, I just go with it. I eyeball it. But you could, you know, this is a 10-inch board, so you know the 5-inch mark is right here. Like, if you really need the help, put your ruler down And now you see where your 5-inch mark is, and that will help you line up your letters, okay? 6 letters, that means the 5-inch mark has to be in the middle of the 3rd and 4th letter. That's where I start. Okay, this is gonna go toward the bottom. These are sticky. I'm not gonna push them down yet. I was actually thinking about using hot glue, but they are incredible. You guys, look at this. Like, I did not push that on there. All I did was touch my finger to it, and look at how sticky it is. I may not need the hot glue. But listen, I better pay attention because I have been known to put things together and spell things wrong. They are really sticky. Really sticky. So in my, the kit that you get from me, you're going to get the paper, you're going to get these letters, and you're going to get the board. I don't have enough garland to give everybody. I only have 9 kits available, but I don't have enough garland for all 9 people. Plus, I didn't know, like, I think you could put whatever you want on here. You know what I was originally thinking was a little paper clip with a picture of my kids. That's what I was originally thinking to do. Oh, somebody said put Mary on top and put the Bright on the bottom. Listen, I think that there's no right or wrong. It's just you got to do what you think is best for you, right? If you're going to hang it in your house or give it as a gift. Oh, you could do that too. Jessica says you could put Mary on the left and Bright on the right. Yeah, you have all kinds of options. That's the nice thing about making your own, right? You get to decide. You're the designer. So I'm going to put the and Bright on the bottom panels. Whoops, whoops. Hey, it's slipping around. I have not pushed them down. I've just laid them down. And then Mary, so 5 letters. The R is in the middle. See how, did you hear how sticky that was? You could totally offset. Now, listen, they're not totally stuck. Oh, that one was really stuck. I'm afraid it's going to rip my paper. So if you guys get this kit and you decide to do this, definitely Mod Podge seal your paper before you start laying these things down, because it's paper and you've got a big adhesive on here and you don't want the paper to come up. So what would I do here if I did that one to the right and this one to the left? Like, I could do it like this, as I think was the suggestion. You guys tell me if you like it right and left or centered. I had it, started it out centered a minute ago. Let's see what it looks like right and left. Wait, where's my other R? Guys, they're really sticky. I just don't know where to put my and. Mary, like and right. Where would I put my and? Here? Do you like it left and right, or do you like it all centered? I have not pushed them down, but they are a little bit sticky. I think I like it all centered, ladies. But this is part of the process, right? Is to just like monkey around with it and see what you like. It's definitely easier when they're not adhesive, but these, I'm just not pushing them on very strongly. You know, you can see I'm moving them around a bit and I'm eyeballing it. You could get a ruler out to make sure that all of your letters are, or you could use painter's tape. I'm not that kind of crafter, girls. I'm just not. I just don't. It takes all the fun out of it for me if I'm going to start taking out tape and measuring, and I just eyeball it. And truthfully, to me, it looks more authentic and more handmade that way. So I like it. Actually, should we go all wonky with the letters? I think I'm going to go wonky. I think I'm going to go wonky with my letters. Look it. Let's do it. My Miriam Bright's a little drunk. Maybe that's what we want to say. I think I kind of like it a little wonky. Wonky, straight. Yeah, I see everybody saying centered, centered, centered. I like it centered too. Sharita says middle. I do too. I like it centered better. Centered, centered, centered. Okay, wonky or straight? See, this is like being at a craft retreat. This is how I always think of this. I'm at a craft retreat and you girls are sitting at the next table, right? Here's my table and I'm working on mine. And you're over there eating your popcorn and drinking your Diet Coke, and I'm over here having my coffee, and I say, hey, Wendy, come on over here and look at this. Would you do these letters wonky or straight? And then 4 or 5 girls at the retreat, they run over and say, oh, I like it wonky. No, I like it straight. That's how I always think of late night crafting with you guys, because you help me. Wonky or straight? Jennifer says wonky. my eyes are getting blurry because I can't see. Carrie says, yes, yes. Kathy says, wonky. Debbie says, centered and wonky. We like wonky. Wonky is cute. I think so too, Brenda. It kind of makes it a little more whimsical and not so serious. Centered and wonky. I'm seeing a lot of wonky answers. Lindsay and Heidi and let's see, who else said wonky? Pauline said wonky. See, we love wonky at the Comfy Nest. And Pam and Devitt. All right, we're doing wonky. Oh, and see, then it doesn't matter if they're totally, it totally takes the pressure off. It doesn't matter if they're completely like centered or not centered. All right, I'm ready to push these down. I'm ready to push them down. They're a little bit wonky and you don't have to worry about any of that. I'm gonna give them a good push. And listen, I have my hot glue gun going, but these things are, you saw how it stuck on my finger and I didn't even push it. I just touched it with my finger and it stuck on really strongly. So I'm not gonna use the glue, but I am going to, I think I'm gonna pick these up a little higher off, away from that transition between the two boards. And I'm gonna pull these out a little further. There, Mary and wonky. Listen, I could use my ruler and push them all down at one time instead of having to push them. Okay. Oh my gosh, they're really cute, you guys. Merry and bright. Now we gotta get this on here. I think it's kind of funny because the wreath looks so traditional to me and the background is really soft colors, which is what I've been going with for all of my little trees that I've been doing. I've been going with really soft colors. So I think it's kind of funny that this is traditional and then you got these wonky letters mixed in there. Okay, let's see. Do we want to do this and a bow or just a bow? Let's wrap a little bit of this around. I am incredibly visual, so I can't decide until I see it. I have to like start to put it together and then decide. I don't even have enough of it. So if I wanted to wrap it, do we like the ribbon wrapped? Or should we just do a bow? Just a bow. Okay, Pauline's saying just a bow. Let's try that too. We'll take this out and we'll see what it looks like. Alphabet soup, wonky. All right, so when I literally tie it like I tie my shoes, which my brother Steven, I'm one of 13 kids. I'm the 11th, and my brother Steven, who's the oldest, taught me how to tie my shoe with the 2 rabbit heads. I'm 47, I'll be 48 next week. I still do it with the 2 little rabbit ears. I still make my bows the same way. My bows and I tie my shoes the same way. I've never learned how to do it the other way. I don't know how. I've tried and I can't do it, you guys. I cannot do it. So I do the little 2 rabbit ears. Thank you to my brother Steven. About 42 years ago, probably, taught me when I was in kindergarten how to tie my shoes. All right, so let's see if we make a little bow with this pretty red ribbon. And this is a nice wired ribbon, you guys. I could put a length of this ribbon. I have enough of this that I could put this in the kit. Oh, yes, yes, yes! You guys, yes, with the long tails coming out. I might double this. I might just double it because I love the big pop of red. All right, I'm going to tie that really tight. I'm tying it really tight, but then I'm going to pull on these because I want these, the bow parts to be like 1 inch long, maybe a little bit less than 1 inch. Okay, cut this side so it matches. First of all, let's cut them both the same. So at an angle or something, like just decide, do you want them at an angle? Do you want them... This will get glued on here, but should I double it? Should I do 2? Sometimes if I just want it to be a little more bold, like that is so stinking cute, you guys, on there. Like the perfect little Christmas wreath, really, truly. But if I want it bold, I'll sometimes just double up this simple bow. I'll double it up. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let me grab another length of that because it's already all... Just another length of it. You guys, when you buy the mystery grab bags from my website, they come with 15. Oh, I might have cut this one a little bit too small. I did. It's too small of a length. I'm going to need more of it. It comes with 45 feet or 15 yards of ribbon. So it's 15 varieties of ribbon. And I try to curate them so that you can use them together to make ribbons and bows. But I love it because I normally don't use like 25 feet of one color of ribbon. I may use a couple of feet. So this way you're getting all of that ribbon and all of that variety in the grab bag, which I think is so fun. All right, so see what I mean? I just grab another little bow, same shape, same ribbon. And if you want to make it a little bold, I'll sometimes just layer them, like so it looks a little more bold. So we'll see what this looks like. Let's get this glued on here. Let me straighten out get my glue gun. We're going to glue this on here. I'm going to put a nice bit of glue about a ½ inch long. I'm going across the whole knot from one side of the knot to the other, and I'm going to affix it on. I want to catch the wire so that this sticks to the wire, okay? I can fluff it up here in a minute. That's not a problem. But I want to stick this so it's like, you really want to make sure it sticks well. So, oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Sometimes what I'll do if I want it to be extra bold is I'll just come in and I will glue another one on just right on top of that because it's going to make it thicker and bolder. So I'm going right on that knot underneath it, and I'm going to affix this one on top of the other one. And what it does is it just doubles it up. You're going to get double tails and you're going to get double ribbon, like the bow parts. I got like a bit of hot glue there that I didn't like. I don't like those boogers showing, like when it oozes out of your project. I always go in with my little palette knife and grab that out of there while it's still hot. It's just so much easier than waiting till it cools down. Now look at, so it just makes it more bold, and I didn't have to do anything fancy. I just like tied my shoes twice. I just did a basic ribbon, tied my shoes twice. The one on the top is a little smaller than the one on the bottom. I glued them right on top of each other, and then you can play with these and move them around to make it look puffier. Okay, I'm not a bow maker, you guys. I'm not a wreath maker. I'm not a bow maker, but you can all do that. You can make 2 little bows. See how much more it is, how much bolder it is? See, look at how cute. Okay, now we just have to glue this on. And we're done, and then I'm going to pull names for prizes. So someone has to be live. I'm going to do 1 live prize. You have to be here to claim it. So I need to see a comment saying that I'm here, I claim my prize. So listen, if you're here and you've been listening, and you're doing something else like washing the dishes, dry your hands, girls, and come on over to the screen because I'm going to pull a live prize winner in a minute here. And you're going to need to type in, I claim my prize, to grab it, okay? Then I'm going to just pull another name. Doesn't matter if you're here or not. I will try to contact you in the Crafty Chicks group. I'll try to tag you if I don't know who you are so I can find you and give you your little prize. I'll send you some happy mail. It always includes, so let me show you my ribbon. This is one of the ribbon, these are 2, it's actually 2. So this is 45 yards of ribbon. So this is what comes in my mystery grab bags. And when I send happy mail, I send a mini version of this. So you're not going to get as much as if you bought the grab bag from my website, but you can see some of it's cotton, some of it's metallic and sequenced, some of it's see-through organza, some of it's grosgrain, some wired. I have like skinny satin ribbon. So I do a combination of things that you can use together. Oh, I love this one. This really silky one with the florals on either side of it. So these are the big ones that you get when you buy a mystery grab bag from my website. But the winner of Happy Mail, I always send a little version of that. So it's so fun to get a little bit of ribbon that you can use to make tiny little bows. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need 25 feet of ribbon. You only need you're going to get a whole yard, so it's 3 feet. Plenty to be making little bows like this. Jerry says, I want this prize. Okay, so let's get this glued on. I need to turn it around so I can see it, girls. I'm trying to hold it so you can see it, but to glue this on, I don't want it to be wonky. Now listen, I'm gonna put the glue right here. I'm gonna put a really thick dot of glue there and push it down right where the bows are. I'm gonna push down really strongly. Just be really careful the glue, especially if you're using a high temperature glue, that it doesn't go through all that greenery and burn your fingers. Okay, now listen. Linda, listen. Isn't that the little voice says, Linda, listen. Sometimes I use something like this as my pusher. You could use your ruler, like something else, so that your fingers, the glue doesn't ooze through and burn your fingers. It is the worst, especially when you're putting a lot of pressure like that. You're pushing down and hot glue oozes through and grabs your finger. It's the worst feeling ever. But you do want a lot of glue, and you want to hold it down firmly until it cools well enough to hold that in place. Now, I would be tempted to do that. Now, to take another bead of glue and put it on the bottom so that it's not going to rip off on you, like come off. So I'm going to put a little bead of glue. I don't want to put it on the board. I want to put it on the back, like the heavy place, or like a place where it's really dense in the back. It doesn't have to be exactly right underneath. Like, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. It just has to be glued down somewhere on the bottom. So don't worry about it being like directly underneath your bow. Just somewhere down on the bottom, another layer of glue. Oh, it's still hot. Then you're going to push down. And then same thing, you can fluff these up now. Kind of like your bow. After it's all together and glued down, then you can fluff everything up. Oh my goodness, you guys. Now listen, so here's the thing. I put all that effort into the background, but this is what I love about doing this style of background with a palette board. First of all, it's very artistic and it's really fun to pick your colors out. But second of all, I want you to realize or remember that your background should always be like, it's not the star of the show. It's like the background. It's like the background singers. That's how I think of it. Like the background singers. They're there to support what's on the front. They're not there to take away from it. So that's why that's why I muck up the papers and I pick really muted, similar colors and tones so that it's coordinated, but it's not competing with what's on the front. So you can still see it's decorative paper. You can see my polka dots. You can see my paint colors if you look closely, but from afar, they're just complementing what's on the front. Okay, so I like to talk you through like my rationale, my reasoning for my design choices, so that, and hopefully it helps you guys too as you go through and you do your own projects. You guys, thank you for all those stars. I don't know if you know what stars are, girls, but it's like a little tip jar. You can buy stars from Facebook, and then you can give them to anybody on Facebook who's sharing content with you that you appreciate and you want to show thanks for, like a tip jar. Each star is worth a penny. So all of you who are giving me stars, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Oh, Brenda, I muck everything up. She says, I love how you say muck it up. That's the word I use when I say I muck it up. Because I try not to take this stuff too seriously, you guys. It's just really to be a lot of fun. Now look at, oh my gosh. Okay, can we just do this and then I'm going to pull winners. Actually, I'm going to pull my live winner now and then I'm going to show you this little collection of stuff I got going on here. Because the live winner, you're going to hear your name. Then you got to get to your computer, your phone, your iPad, whatever, your tablet. And you got to say, I claim my prize. The live winner must be here. So I'm going to pull a name. And if she does not claim it within a minute, we're going to pull a different name. Okay? So here we go. Kathy, whoop, whoop, thank you for the stars. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Bobby. All right, here. We got the big basket. We're going to try to find a live winner. These have been in here, you guys, for a while. So some of you may have been here before and you're coming back tonight. I think what I'm going to do, what I was doing was dumping this every month and starting fresh. So I think it's time to dump it because it's really full. I'm going to pick 2 names. One must be live. The other one, I'm just going to try to find you. No, I don't make my own palette boards, Diana, but you can get this kit. You can get this kit. It's a basic kit off my website, thecomfynestwithgrace.com. I have 9 of these kits available. I don't have many of them, but if you want one, go grab it. And by the way, if you're a regular follower of The Comfy Nest, the baseball caps that I bought a few months ago and made available in the shop, Jesus Take the Wheel, those baseball caps, they are restocked today. So I now have 4 colors of that baseball cap available. I know some of you, they sold out within 12 hours, the first stash that I had, and then it took me a while to get them back in stock. I have 4 colors now available for you guys. So go out and grab one of those if you want that too. Okay. Hi, Jackie. Hello, hello. Okay. Live winner, Melody Cooper. Are you here? Are you with us live? Miss Melody Cooper is who I'm looking for. Actually, I'm going to show you my little collection. If Melody's not here, I'm going to pull another name for the live winner. And then I'm going to pull another name for a second winner. Don't have to be, it's great if you're here live, but you don't have to be here live. Okay. Or, you know what I could do? Let me pull another name. I'll just tell you the 2 names. One of you have to be here live. As soon as somebody claims, then we'll pick another name for the non-live winner. Rebecca Manning. Is Rebecca Manning here? Rebecca or Melody Cooper? Let's see. Let's hope they're here. Welcome, newbies. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here, you guys. Oh, Bobby says, welcome to all the newbies. You guys are great. Okay, this is what we made tonight. I'm trying to make all of these coordinated things this past 2 weeks. You can find these lives on the page here if you go to the videos. So this is being added to the collection, but you can see I got my trees. Look at my tree. I love my little chicken tree. Look at how cute it is. All right, we got the little tree with the bow. Little tree with the stars. That actually went to a different set, but let me start showing you some of the stuff. That's not gonna, I think there's some on my board. It's not standing up on its own. So I've been using the same color green for all of these things I've created for this season. The same colors of green and gray. Look at, this is our live last week that we did. That was done with some stamps. This is my design for Essential Stencil for Stencil of the Month this month. This is the design that I worked with them to create for that group. So this was done last Thursday on their website. So I just kind of picked one color, you guys. And all the little wood projects that I created this last couple of weeks for Christmas have all come from the same paper stack and paint colors. See that? See how they're all coordinated? I think it's so fun to be able to do that, you guys. Because now these can all be placed all around my house and mixed in with my other creations, and they're all going to be coordinated. This might be my favorite, you guys. That was from last week's live. I don't know. It's just so fun to make them. Okay, did Melody or Rebecca claim their prize? Oh, I'm glad you guys like them. Teresa says, all of those are adorable. Okay, you guys tell me. Donna, I know, the farm animals, right? The farm animals, they're so cute. Rebecca Manning. I know Rebecca D. May. She's like, I got excited when I heard Rebecca. It's Rebecca Manning. We're going to pull more names until I find somebody live. Melody Cooper. Are either of you live here? Okay, not seeing one. I'm not using a hammer tonight. No, Miss Lindsay. I would wake up my whole house like I did last week. All right, pulling another name. We're looking for a live winner. Brenda Barrett, are you here? Brenda Barrett. Brenda Barrett. Let's pull another name. I'm trying to go for 2 winners. Gail Manning Geitz. Gail Manning Geitz, Brenda Barrett. Are you guys here? It is called celery green. Somebody asked, what color green is that? Bobby. It's Waverly's celery green. You can hardly read it because it's got paint over it, but that's what it is. I've pulled 4 names. I'm looking for a live winner. Gail Manning Geitz, Brenda Barrett, Melody Cooper, Rebecca Manning. Anybody? Brenda Barrett! Woo! We got our live winner. She's here. Brenda Barrett, you just won some happy mail. So Brenda, I'm going to be sending you a mini grab bag, a mini crafty grab bag. They're mystery bags. I sell them on my website, a large one, and it is plumb full of craft supplies. But I'm going to be sending you a mini version of that. So you'll get a little bit of less of ribbon, a little bit less of, you'll get decorative scrap papers, I have bundles of napkins that I sell on my website, so you'll get some decorative napkins to craft with. So yay, Brenda! She's our first winner. Okay, this second winner, it's great if you're here. You don't have to be though. This is our second winner. We'll do 2 winners tonight. Pat Arrington. This is our second winner. So you two, I will be congratulating you in the Crafty Chicks Club. That's my free craft community. Join it now, you guys, because that's the group where I share discounts and specials. And you guys are always the first to know when something's going on, like some like event or something going on. I am doing a bookmark workshop on December 19th. I'm collaborating with a group of girls. You get 4 mini workshops, 4 30-minute workshops for $10. It's on that Saturday morning at 11 a.m. If you can't be there, you have access to all of the 4 different workshops from the 4 different artists. I'm one of them, but there are 3 other crafty girls with me doing it, and you'll have access to that for 30 days. So join the Crafty Chicks Club, because that's where I put all those news and happenings in there, and I will tag our 2 winners. Hopefully we can find Pat. So glad that Brenda was here for winning. I'm going to dump this, you guys. This is really full, and there are some names that have been in here for a while, so I'm going to dump this. I think, I hate doing it, but I think I'm going to dump it and get started again. I was dumping it once a month, and I haven't done it in a little while. So I think it's time to start fresh. Oh, I hate doing it though. But that's what the plan is. All right, you guys, have a beautiful, blessed night. Thanks for following along. Thank you for all the star givers. Thank you for all of you that are sprinkling and sharing this out. I'm going for 40. I'm looking for 4 authentic shares out into the world that helps to introduce the Comfy Nest with Grace to other people, so that they can decide if they want to follow along with our wonkiness and our crafting and creativity here at the Comfy Nest. So I hope you'll share, help me hit that 40 mark. That I would be so appreciated if you would. And I will catch you guys next week. I'm always live Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. And then you may catch me intermittently throughout the week otherwise. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.